Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on the Flash film. So though the Flash movie only came out like just over a month or so ago, roughly, yeah, around that time, the digital release of the film has already hit, the digital marketplaces like an iTunes or a Google Play or something like that. And with that comes a bunch of behind the scenes material as well as deleted scenes, and though many were just expecting, maybe some alternate or extended pieces from the movie that we got, there was actually one thing that gave us a look at something that was completely removed from the final film due to the changes at DC with James Gunn coming in, and this is a pretty cool thing to see because I thought we weren't going to get anything from it. So we will first go over that, and then we will go over the other deleted scenes as well as some, other behind the scenes imagery and stuff like that that came out as well. Now, I am curating most of this stuff from the Flash Film News. They just sort of compiled it together in a very nice way. Not sure if any of this is exclusive with them, because they did get some exclusive stuff before the movie came out. But regardless, whether it is or not, I will link their place in the description down below because you can see it all there. So that's just an easy thing to do. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below which one of these deleted scenes, whether it's the first thing we go over, like the end credit scene, or just something from the movie that you wish had stayed in there. All of it, maybe some of it, maybe none of it. Let me know in the comment section down below which one you would have wanted to see the most stay in there, as well as just which one you like the most, and just your general thoughts and opinions in the comments as well. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, want to show support, everything like that, take a, 2 seconds, drop a like on the video. So the first thing to go over is actually that deleted end credit scene for the Flash film, which was filmed when they did the initial production in England. So it was planned, it was in the script, everything like that. This was not a reshoot, this was not a pickup that they did, a handful of months later or whatever it was. This was done when they initially filmed the film. And this scene, which had been talked about previously, features Ben Affleck's Batman after Barry has changed the timeline back at the end of the film, but of course doesn't return it 100% to what it used to be like before he, initially runs back to save his mum, as Ben Affleck's Batman is no longer the Batman in Barry's timeline. It was originally meant to be Michael Keaton's Batman that's at the end, but then it was, later replaced with George Clooney's. But in this end credit scene, Barry would receive a message from Ben Affleck's Batman elsewhere in the multiverse asking for Barry to find him and help him, and that something is coming their way. This would have been setting up Crisis on Infinite Earths as this big event film, as well as other story points that would have bled into like a Flash sequel and probably other DC films along the way, leading to that big event film, which would have gone on to reboot the DC universe, to fix it up a bit, due to events that had happened previously within it. And as you can see here, Ben Affleck's Batman is riding, just wearing a different suit with a black main part of the suit and then like a silver bat emblem. So I guess it's pretty much like the reverse of what he was wearing in the earlier parts of the movie, like in the opening action scene. And to be honest, this looks pretty sick. I think it looks mad, especially with Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck just looks good as Bruce Wayne, in my opinion. You can comment on different things like that, but it just sort of looks good, especially like here. So it's a bit of a shame you're not going to see him again, but I think he looks really cool here with this suit. And I was surprised because I thought my eyes were tricking me. I was like, hold on, was this in another part of the movie? But they made this specifically for this end credit scene. Though it just seems like it is the other one inverted for the most part, but it's still really cool. Now you can see that there is like a green screen behind him. Now apparently this end credit scene, or what we saw with him, he was meant to be in an environment similar to the Nightmare timeline that we saw in Batman v Superman, but because it was changed, I don't think it was meant to be the exact same, just sort of similar to that. But it looks like he might have been in like a makeshift Batcave, or maybe just the Batcave itself, because you can see he's got like a desk in front of him with some like equipment and stuff, like as if he's working on it. So it's not somewhere random, it seems like it's his workstation of sorts. Now it is a shame we didn't get to see this in the actual film, as when this came out that, Crisis was being planned and would lead into this sort of rebuild, I got really excited, but of course this isn't needed anymore due to what James Gunn is doing. Now, who knows if this scene will ever see the light of day? Who knows? I don't think we're going to see anything from it. So the fact we have these photos is good enough for me, but you never know. The internet works in weird ways. Apparently people have footage from the Batgirl film that might leak. So with something that was like officially filmed and I guess might have actually been in one of the versions of the film that they put together, you never know. Maybe it might leak, whether it's intentionally or accidentally, or maybe quote unquote accidentally, that's a wait and see. But just the photos themselves are good enough for me, so it's pretty cool to see. But now let's get into the other deleted scenes from the movie. Now I won't play them for you just due to copyright, but I will show screenshots that explain them well enough. So yeah, you just know if I play them, copyright, you just know it's going to happen. So hopefully you understand. So the first deleted scene is the two Barrys, our main Barry and the younger Barry from this Flashpoint timeline, entering the Batcave through the secret entrance, through like the sewer cap thing, whatever it's called, like the manhole cover thing. But in the actual movie, the young Barry just phases completely through it, and that's it, and we get into the Batcave. In this deleted scene, young Barry phases through it, but doesn't get all the way through it and gets stuck halfway. Once again, because sort of he's rushing, he's not listening to the older Barry who's trying to teach him. So this was another sign of it. Maybe they felt like it wasn't necessarily maybe just ruin the flow. Who knows exactly what happens after this. But I can sort of understand maybe why this was deleted. The next one was building the electric chair, the thing that Barry uses to get his powers back. Now, in the final cut of the film, we just sort of jump to this being finished, like none of this process of them building it or anything like that. And this is just after Barry proposes the idea of getting his speed back through a method like this. So he goes, oh, I have a plan, blah, blah, blah. And then we just jump to this chair being fixed. And that was it. We didn't get the building. Which I think was a bit disappointing that they didn't keep this in the movie, because I think it would have flowed pretty well, and there's just a couple of little jokes there and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm a bit confused why they deleted this one. The third one is young Barry as the Flash in the Soviet sort of base area, and he finds Kara Zor-El's, might I say, Kryptonian pod in the Soviet base, with this being where her suit was originally kept. In the final film, her suit is just next to her in that containment cell that she's being kept in, with it being questioned in this deleted scene where the Superman is petite due to the size of the suit. They find the suit, it's like, oh, it's Superman's suit, but why is it so small? So then it shouldn't be like this massive surprise when they then find, Kara Zor-El, in the other cell. Who knows exactly if that scene plays out differently due to the suit being in a different area. It probably shouldn't, because in the final film, Barry just sort of picks it up, and there's no real talk about it. So yeah, I think this would have been a really good one to keep. I'm actually sort of disappointed they didn't keep this in, and even just seeing the Kryptonian pod and stuff like that would have been cool. And the final deleted scene that we have is Barry and young Barry entering Wayne Manor for the first time, and young Barry sort of messing with Bruce Wayne's stuff, dressing up as in one of like the samurai outfits there, thinking that he looks like a Ninja Turtle. And this is sort of showing older Barry's early frustrations with the young Barry that do come to a head later on. So I can understand why this was included, like why they actually filmed it, but also why it was deleted at the same time. But out of these four that we got, they really should have kept the building chair sequence and the young Barry entering the area where Kara's pod is being kept. I think those would have actually worked well in the movie, and actually I feel weird seeing them now, them not actually being in the film. And also, especially when it comes to the young Barry entering the where Kara's pod is, that was used in promotional material. Like, I was wondering when I was watching the movie and they didn't have that shot of like Barry sort of walking towards the suit, because you see it in multiple trailers, but then it's not in the final film. So I wish that was in there. And that's only like not a very long scene as well. It's not like it's a 4-minute scene or something. It's like less than a minute, I think. So yeah, I wish that was included, as well as the building chair sequence. The other two with the older and younger Barry, both entering the Batcave and entering the Wayne Manor, like, they didn't need to be in the film. I understand why they were filmed, but I also understand why they were deleted at the same time. Now, in regards to whether there was other stuff that was in the script that wasn't filmed, which I guess makes it deleted as well, who knows? We can assume there is, but also at the same time, we can assume there wasn't at the same time. So we'll never know. We'll never know. Who knows? Maybe it might come out. We'll wait and see. And the final thing to go in this video is actually some behind the scenes stuff. So some behind the scenes images from either stuff that was, I think all of this was in the film. Maybe not one thing, which we'll talk about, but I think all of this was in the film. So yeah, the first thing is the two Barrys in the Batwing, heading into that final big action sequence thing. You can see, I think it's Ed Wade was the other guy who played like the fill-in Barry and did all the acting alongside Ezra Miller. And then obviously they replaced his face, so you can see him there. And he was even in some of those deleted scenes, like, because they didn't actually do the face replacement, because I guess they decided to delete them early on before doing any visual effects there. So he sort of appears in these deleted scenes and these behind the scenes imagery, though he's not actually in the film itself, like physically properly. The next thing is Keaton's Batman. This is obviously just before he dies. Obviously he's got blood. He's sort of, I think he got like stabbed in the neck or something weird. He was bleeding from the neck in the film. So yeah, obviously he dies. R.I.P. the dream. The next thing is Supergirl, which is the one thing I think this is from the actual film. I think this might be her on top of the Wayne Manor and stuff like that. Obviously, there's still the question of whether Supergirl is going to continue or not. We still don't know. Obviously, there's not going to be anything announced during these writer strikes and everything like that. But yeah, that's a wait and see. The second last behind the scenes thing is actually Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman, and Barry in the post-credit scene that was actually in the final cut of the film. Obviously them leaving the bar and, you know, Aquaman falling into that puddle, and then they're about to go up to Barry's apartment. I'm unsure if this was filmed when they initially filmed the movie or this was a pickup shoot. I'm not 100% sure. I have a feeling it was filmed when they did it, but then they talk, like, because when they're talking about Batman and stuff in this end credit scene, they don't say, oh, it's like, it could be in reference to Michael Keaton's Batman, which was, you know, so I'm assuming that's what the scene was, but obviously they don't necessarily show the Batman in this new world or anything like that. So yeah, I think this is probably filmed when they initially did the main shoot in England. I'd assume so, because Aquaman was filming around the same time as well. Aquaman 2, might I say, was filming around the same time as well. And the final behind the scenes image is Wonder Woman in her little cameo that was in the opening act of the film. So yeah, looks good. But yeah, guys, that's all to go over in this video. Probably the last thing we'll talk about from the Flash movie, unless something crazy comes out, like another deleted scene, or maybe someone actually leaks that Batman or the Ben Affleck Batman Crisis tease end credit thing. Maybe that might leak and we might talk about that. But I guess it's probably the last Flash movie related thing that I can think of at the very least that you'd talk about, because I don't know if anything else is going to come out, but wait and see. You never know. There might be something of interest that comes out in maybe some other of the behind the scenes featurettes that come along with the digital or the physical release as well. So that's a wait and see, of course. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on all the stuff we went over in this video, favorite of the deleted scenes and everything like that. Let me know. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.